The 2023 NBA season is still very young, but it's still old enough for us to have some observations. And I think my number one observation so far is the Utah Jazz did not come here to tank for Victor Wembanyama. They just didn't. I think a lot of us thought that the Jazz would be a dud this season, but they came to play basketball. Exciting to see.
Oh, I have to agree 100%. And as a matter of fact, because I did not think the Utah Jazz would even be, I thought they would be at the bottom of the West. I'm just going to be honest, especially with them trading out Donovan Mitchell and then the
Mhm.
trade for Rudy Gobert and all the other things that they've done. I was like, oh, you know what? They ain't going to be nothing. And to couple that with Colin Sexton, when they acquired Colin Sexton, I said, "Oh my gosh, Colin Sexton then went to the Utah Jazz this season. His career about to be on hold." Oh, but now, if you've watched the Utah Jazz play, they're actually number 3 right now in the West.
Yep.
What? And so much so that I'm like, I think they're my new sleeper team. I didn't see it. I didn't see it. I didn't see it. I didn't anticipate it. But the Utah Jazz, some
Mhm.
Jordan Clarkson is now in the starting lineup. He was already, 1 year 6 man of the year, the 2021 season. And now Colin Sexton is like, he probably felt almost like, oh, they sent me over here. And he able to now still be on a team that's amazing. When somebody in our
Yeah.
comments mentioned that Will Hardy will be the coach of the year, I may have to get on board with him being at least one of the top 3 coaches of the year candidates, because this
Mhm.
Utah Jazz team was not supposed to be here. They were not, in my eyes, they were not supposed to be here. And I like what I see.
I'm telling you, this is a clear example of addition by subtraction, right?
Ooh.
They subtracted their superstars, Rudy and Donovan, but when they added Laurie Markkinen, who's playing out of his
Oh,
mind right now,
oh my gosh. Because he was
THT's
previously
very.
with the Cleveland Cavaliers, right?
Hmm?
And I said, "Oh my gosh, why would they trade him?" Oh, but they needed to. Actually, his next spot was going to be the Utah Jazz, and he's been able to really flourish.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying. It is about building a roster that all fits. And for me, this roster, I didn't see it, but clearly their front office did. Clearly,
mm-hmm.
clearly they did, and it is just they're killing it. Yeah. So right now, the Utah Jazz. Before I had the Kings, and I'm like, ooh. Maybe
Yeah.
not right now, but my sleeper team for the West, because I didn't see it for them, is the Utah Jazz. And I think they're going to be somebody. Yeah, Utah Jazz for sure. They're killing it right now. It's on the same lines. Now, I know this other team that's from the East that's also, I think, becoming my next East sleeper team, although they're number 11 currently in the standings as we speak, the Indiana Pacers.
Oh, yes.
That rookie, Benedict Mathurin, I just like his personality. I like what he does on the court,
Mm-hmm.
and coupled with that Halliburton, what are we talking about? When you are upsetting top tier teams,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, no, they may not be top 10 right now, but I don't know if they continue on this trajectory, they're gonna find themselves in the playoffs. I like the Indiana Pacers right now. So yeah, they're another sleeper team from the East that I was not anticipating to be this good. And again, this what is proving to me and what my observation is so far in the season, youth, athleticism, speed, teams that are balanced in their scoring, and everybody is putting in their giving 110%,
Mm-hmm.
makes for basketball to be fun to watch. And it's amazing. So the Indiana Pacers is a team that if you're not on board with the Indiana Pacers right now, you better find a way to watch their games because they're balling.
Yeah, they are. I think here's another observation I picked up on early in this season. I think there's something wrong with Chris Paul.
You think so?
I think so. I mean, he's taking less shots. His field goal percentage is down. His 3-point percentage is down. His points are down. And I'm comparing it to last year. His assists are about level, but he just doesn't seem like the same player. And I don't know what it is, but something is going on in Phoenix with him.
You think maybe this is his way to transition out of the game? subtle, right? Just a subtle way to transition out of the game. Because I can tell you right now, if he wanted to be an actor, he can do it. That's State Farm, and I know if you're watching any games right now, that State Farm commercial where he is power walking in that race,
I know, it's so funny.
it is my favorite commercial right now. Like I love it. So I'm being funny, but
Hmm.
maybe his body is just saying it's a wrap. It's a
Yeah,
wrap.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know what?
It's
But if you're gonna go out, I want you to go out on the team. If you're gonna make if this ends up being his last rodeo, I would love for it. I'm glad it's gonna be on the Suns because they're gonna have a pretty good record this regular season. They been pretty
mhm.
consistent with that. But that's interesting you mentioned that. He just doesn't. I agree with you. He doesn't look the same, and I don't check for him on the court. Isn't that
No.
crazy?
Hmm.
Ooh, I don't check
Yeah.
for him on the court when I'm
And it
watching the
so
games. I'm
happens
not checking for him.
is his last
Yeah, I
season on
know.
his contract.
That's what
So
I'm saying. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Oh,
that's it.
okay. You know what? Another thing that I've observed, and I'm going to circle back on it. If the average age in the NBA right now was 26, and that's average. If you up in your late 30s, it's y'all. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, but these young guys are killing it, and I think it is really time for the NBA, the sports um, conglomerates to really start talking more about the young guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just sorry. We just need to start making that top of mind when I'm listening to reading articles, listening to sportscasters recap games. We need to start shifting. They need to start shifting their discussion around the younger guys because the 2022 rookie class
Whew,
and the
goodness.
way Paolo is balling, Benedict is balling. Then you got the 2021, 2020 classes, and that John Morant's,
Yeah.
Zion Williamson's getting it in. BI even. I mean, we can go on, and they get barely any mention. It is time to shift because if we are watching games as basketball fans, those games are the ones that are getting the most hits. They have to be because they are so exciting to watch. And when I'm saying from the top of the game to the end of the game, and when these veteran players are playing up against them, it is exposing them, in my opinion. You can see the age.
Yes.
You can see it. You can see the age on offense. So yes, somebody may be able to drive down, but you can see the age. You can see the age on defense because they can't bend down like they used to. And some of that is because of injuries. A lot of that is because it's just as your body ages, it just changes. And sometimes I don't want to see them play.
I know. I know.
I don't
I
want to
know.
see it. I don't want to see them play. I hate when I'm watching teams that are older, i.e. Lakers, i.e. Heat. When I'm watching them and the young guys are running around the court and then you see the older veteran playing, they're like, you can't even, your
Yeah.
lift ain't even the same. Like it's just move around, you know, and let some of these young guns. But yeah, so I think that we are going through, and it may take a couple of years through this transition, but it's clearly that we are transitioning out of our veterans into our younger
Mhm.
players, and it may take some more seasons to do that, but it is clear. It is clear that the youth is getting ready to take over. Mhm.
Yeah, the NBA is in good hands with these
Oh
young, budding
yes,
superstars. Yes, definitely. But
definitely.
my last observation is, as much as Anthony Davis wants to play, he wants to be injury free. I just don't think he's built for it.
No, I have to agree with you on that one.
He's only 29 years old. We're talking about, I mean, you just mentioned, age and mileage and how the body changes, but AD has never been a guy that could play the full season. In fact, I looked at his career record. The most games he's ever played was 75. But it's been a stretch here. He's
Mhm.
making $37 million a year. This is 11th season in the league, averaging 24 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 assists. I mean, he's a beast when he is healthy, but he hasn't played one full season. And as much as he wants to, I think the truth is he's just not built for it. And that's
Hmm.
why we're seeing the Lakers struggle the way that they are.
He's just not built for it.
Yeah, it's just not. We need to accept it. We need to stop pushing him, players like Kawhi, players that are often injured. We just need to accept it.
Yeah, we need to accept it, and these teams need to just move forward. I have to agree with you. And, I'm a Kawhi Leonard stan, but I can also see the writing on the wall. And I'm not going to be blind to the fact that, his injuries take a little bit longer than we anticipate on healing. Like AD, his injuries take a little bit longer than we probably would like to see in healing. And so, although
Hmm.
someone else that may be younger or just may have a body composition that just, allows for, recovery to be a lot faster, doesn't mean that we just may need to just stop pressuring. I think maybe I don't think they feel pressured. That's on us. But yeah, we need to stop expecting them to be something that they're not, because actually it's unnecessary commentary and it just doesn't move the game forward, right? And I think these um, organizations need to identify that in their players and say, okay, so since you're not healed, no problem. We know that you can still do it. We're going to continue to move forward. And I think that's what happens. But when you put all your eggs in the basket on your superstars, hence is why it is important for
Hmm.
teams to have balanced rosters, i.e., pales. When your superstar or stars, i.e., Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson, cannot play, you got somebody that can still hold it down, and the other role players can still get you a win.
Get you a win against the Dallas Mavericks. Sure could. Yeah. Let's talk about these injuries real quick with the Orlando Magic. I mean, Coach Jamal Mosley is down there doing the best he can. Paolo Banchero, Bo has come in, and Bo is balling. But let me tell you, these injuries they have. We got Morris Wagner out. Cole Anthony is out. Markel Fultz is out. Jalen Suggs, still haven't really seen him much.
Nope.
He's out. Jonathan Isaac is out, and Gary Harris, the whole team. If it wasn't for Paolo Banchero and Bo, I'm not sure where the Magic would be.